Skill number one, box breathing. Can you explain that and maybe take us through a very brief tutorial?
Of course. Yeah, we call the skill box breathing. The SEALs would call the master skill arousal control. And that means to control your arousal response, which is essentially your stress response. So fight, flight, or freeze, or rest and digest. Said another way, are you triggering the sympathetic nervous system when the crisis hit? Or are you going to be able to actively, purposefully trigger the parasympathetic nervous system, which is going to calm you down and balance you out? If you don't have a practice of breath control, and I'll go through it real quickly in a second, then you're always going to be triggered in sympathetic nervous system, which keeps you in a state of fight, flight, or freeze. And when it's persistent day over day, that leads to great imbalance, right? Both in your physiology and your psychology. And that leads to the inability to make good decisions. The freeze becomes like a mental freeze. You can't think clearly. You're just too agitated, too distracted, too anxious. So box breathing is the secret weapon that I teach to SEAL candidates and to leaders to be able to bleed off that stress and to be able to maintain control. And it's taught as a daily practice. Then what happens also over time is it begins to slow down your automatic breathing so that unconsciously, instead of breathing erratically 17, 20, sometimes more times per minute, getting shallow, low oxygen content breaths, not using your full capacity, which is depleting your energy, you're slowing down to breathing 6 times per minute, which is now proven to be the optimal number of breaths. You're getting full lung capacity of air. You're oxygenating your brain and your body. All of that is really powerful. Now we breathe through our nostrils, and there's a lot I could say about that, but just know that it's very important that we breathe through our nostrils. These are our tools for breathing.
Okay, I'm breathing through my nostrils. Okay.
So you close your mouth, you breathe through the nostrils, and then we want to breathe in a four count box pattern. So we'll exhale together. You're going to relax your belly, and then you can inhale through your nose slowly to a 4 count, and you can count in your mind. That helps keep your mind focused. When you get to the top of the inhale, you hold your breath. And you hold your breath with a lifting or a light sensation, not clamping down. And then you're going to exhale softly, slowly to a 4 count. And you're going to feel that relaxation response being triggered. And at the bottom of the exhale, you're going to hold your breath with your belly kind of tucked in.
Okay.
And you're looking for just peace of mind, relaxation.
I feel calmer already. All through my nose.
All through the nose.
Okay.
So we're going to do this. In the morning, ideally, I do it for 20 minutes every day. That's a practice, and it becomes my meditation practice, but so much more going on than just, trying to sit and control the thoughts. A minimum of 5 rounds, ideally 10 rounds. If you could do longer, then you've got a nice practice. Practice this every day. Then what happens is throughout the day, when the trigger comes in, the crisis trigger comes in, you automatically click into the slow nostril breathing. And the SEALs, we call that tactical breathing. That's the same pattern without the holds. 4 or 5 count in, through the nose, 4 or 5 count out. And this leads to this simple tool that we call PBTA. When the trigger happens, the crisis happens, and now the crisis, we have the long-term crisis of the COVID and the government shutdown and dealing with it, but every day you're going to have like the micro crisis of how you're going to respond today. You pause, activate your nostril breathing, your slow diaphragmatic nostril breathing, and then you inject your new critical thinking skills, which are grounded in a balanced body mind that is more focused and alert. And then you take a powerful action, and you do this in an iterative process that we call the OODA loop. You observe how it's going, you orient yourself to the new reality, you make that new micro decision focused on the most valuable target, you act on it, and then you reposition and cycle through that loop.